Hey, 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 everyone. This is Miss J. Welcome back to the J Lounge. Of course, you guys know the J Lounge is a celebrity-based podcast show where my guests and we talk about various topics and discussions. And of course, you guys know I always bring you guys an exciting show, and I'm very, very honored and excited to be speaking with my next guest. She is owner and manager of Cordell Productions. She's executive producer. She's an award-winning screenwriter. She's also a musician. She has done so many things. How does this woman get you sleep? I don't know. I'm going to find out in the interview. But everyone, give a warm welcome to Miss Alice Wells. Hi, Alice.
Hey everybody.
How are you?
I'm great. So good to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited.
Oh, we're super excited to have you on the show. And like I said, I list off a lot of great things. And like, oh my goodness, you've had so many different careers and so many great aspects and jobs and everything. But I want to get off to the first question, Miss Alice. What began your passion for screenwriting?
That is a very good question. And you're probably going to think that this is an odd answer, but I always just had like stories in my head that I wanted to tell and share that I thought were very different, especially for a woman to write, because a lot of it is sci-fi, action, adventure, thriller, horror, rather than, what a lot of women are considered to write of, like rom-coms or documentaries or dramas or, stuff like that. So, but I always had the hardest time actually getting it out of my head. I could not get it out of my head. And I'm kind of old school. I grew up, writing, actual writing rather than, computers. So I would just write down just scenes and ideas on pretty much any piece of paper I could find, a napkin, a paper towel, a Post-it. And I always thought the ideas were good, but I just felt that I could never get to the next level. And then I had a lot of ideas, and I met a friend who is pretty well known for being famous for something. And he's in the business, and he just said to me, just write. Your ideas are great. Your ideas are great. Just write. And believe it or not, I just started at the end of 2019. The end of 2020. No, I guess it was the end of 2019. It's so hard to remember dates. At the end of 2019, but then I put a lot of stuff on hold because I only wrote like 2 things. And then I didn't start writing until January of this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I can really relate, Alice, to having stories and having stories in your head that you just want to be able to get out. I like to do poetry, and I remember just having all of these words in my head. I just did not know how to get it out. I know I didn't want to do like regular writing, but poetry was a way for me to be creative, to be able to express myself and get those words, down on paper. So I really, really relate to that, stories in your head and trying to be able to express them.
Yeah. It's been an exciting and very odd process to go through.
Oh, I bet. Going on to the number 2 question there, Alice, I want to know, as a screenwriter, what type of stories do you like to tell? I know you said you like to do sci-fi. You said, yeah.
So, I like genre jumping. So currently my things are comedy, mostly dark comedy, horror, thriller, mixed with surrealism, with very mature and odd humor, and quite a bit of darkness, examining some of the human condition and what people go through when they're, faced with a lot of pain and a lot of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also trying to put humor into it. So it's a very interesting process to, pull out humor from horror thriller stories. And same with like, mixing sci-fi with horror, and, thriller and comedies and stuff like that. So I really just like to jump around. I'm not really big on like rom-coms or drama stuff. But that's right now. Who knows what I'll want to tell, down the road.
Right, right. But I have to agree with you, especially with the dramas, because honestly, 2020 to 2021 is already a drama drama film already. We don't need any more drama films. But I also agree with you on the rom-coms too. I don't think I've seen, I think besides Hitch, I really haven't seen a genuine, rom-com that didn't, end, predictably. So I completely agree with you there. But going on to the number 3 question, in your own words, what are some of the most rewarding and difficult aspects of being a screenwriter?
Well, because my career, what I, discussed with you in general, has been a lot of writing and editing. And I have gotten very, very good at copy editing. And so absolutely one of my favorite things is to edit my own scripts, as well as when my writing partner, David Keogh, and I are writing, we love editing each other's stuff. So a lot of times, one of us will take the lead on the first however many pages we can get out at a time and send it to the other person, and then they do an edit and add their stuff and then send it back, and then it just keeps going back and forth. And so that's one of my favorite aspects. Also, my process, along with David, one of the reasons we work so well together is because we don't do things traditionally. That's hard to put it. We do everything not the way that quote unquote you're supposed to do it. But it really works for us. So we'll discuss ideas, and come up with, we'll just keep talking about ideas and how characters will develop and what's going to happen, but we don't really outline anything. We didn't really do like character bios or background stuff. All of our stuff that comes out is very like organic and natural. And so that's very fun and very rewarding. If I want to put any difficult aspect of that, is that like one of us can end up writing like 5 to 15 pages in a single day. And then we'll kind of be like, okay, I just can't do anymore, for a couple of days. So that's kind of the only aspect. But honestly, I love being a screenwriter, and I get just such wonderful feedback from everybody that reads my stuff, both friends and contest readers. And I've won now I've placed 4 times with 2 separate scripts in various contests, even though I just got started this year, like I said. So right now, a lot of it's just, hoping that you get something sold, to be honest.
Right. Yes, that would be exciting.
Yeah.
That would be very exciting.
Yeah.
Oh. But speaking of ideas and kind of playing on to the going a little bit more onto the next question and going into more detail, do you have any plans to direct in the future?
I always, growing up, you always hear about actors going, "Oh, I'd love to direct. I'd love to direct." And I never really saw myself as anything other than a writer, but now I'm also a producer. And because of the way I write, everybody says it's very visual, like that they can see it. So I'm going to probably say I would absolutely love to direct.
Yay!
I
Yes.
can't wait. I cannot wait.
Oh goodness. Do you have you want to put? Do you have any idea what kind of type of film you would want to direct? What kind of story you want to bring for your first directorial debut?
It would really be either something that I've already developed. Right now, what David and I are doing, we're writing a TV series that is originally my creation, and he's really helped build out the story arc. But we also have other things that have been written that we could adapt, either to like in an indie feature film or a short, or we'll just write something new. So it's really just like whatever we decide that can get filmed for the time and money that we have is probably what I'll end up directing first, because they'll all be great.
That will be exciting. Well, make sure you keep me posted because I would like to know more. If you really decide to go into and make your directorial debut, I would like to know.
Great. Thank you.
Going on the number 5 question. Alice, I want to make sure my audience keeps up with you and your work. Where are you on social media?
We're mostly on Twitter. That's our main social media. As my handle is Alice N, as in Nico Wells. And then we also have Cordell Productions, and I think that one is Cordell _ PRODS. And then we also have John Sunshine TV, and that is the Twitter handle for the TV series that we're currently writing. And we're going to be filming the pilot for in January. Pilot sizzle. Yeah, we're doing it indie style, and we're going to film our own pilot to pitch to networks.
Oh, how exciting! Which interesting that you mentioned that, because that goes right into my number 6 question. What future projects are you working on that you can dish about to the J Lounge audience?
Thank you for that. We actually have a lot of projects. So the first one is our biggest one, which is John Sunshine's Lost Rock and Roll Tapes.
And love it.
That is our 1970s rock mock horror thriller, inspired by Cream Magazine and Blair Witch Project, 2 of my greatest loves throughout my life. The premise is decades after the 1970s experimental rock ended, a man finds his father's old interview tapes. And so it's a crazy story that is really gonna shock a lot of people. It's gonna end up having a definite mature rating on it. It's just very out there. But we just have so many ideas of things that we want to do. We're also interested, especially because I'm a woman in horror, that will try to write and develop a 60-second sci-fi horror film to enter into the 13 Minutes of Horror contest that will happen next year. The winners of that last year, or this past summer, were shown on Shudder, which is one of the networks that we're absolutely targeting as a
that's
horror.
a huge network.
Yeah, as horror is our main genre right now, we really want to get our show on there, or at least in front of the executives. We have a number of other scripts that we have started and a comedy pilot that we've actually finished, but we're waiting for to get the option agreement worked out. But that is a really fun script, and it's got surrealism, but it's all comedy rather than horror. And then we've discussed adapting some of David's screenplays or my screenplays, as David has won over 60 screenplay awards for his screenplays. We have a lot to choose from. And then, as I mentioned, I'm also part of the musical duo Electric Alice, which is a progressive, experimental, digital, and real instrument metal rock group that writes both original music for projects as well as songs. We have 2 songs that are out on all the streaming platforms, along with 2 accompanying videos that kind of set the mood. And one of them, called Lost, L-O-S-T, is the song that is for the Josh Sunshine show, TV pilot. So we're combining our music and original songs right into our film and TV projects.
Ooh, that sounds super exciting. Oh my gosh. And I'm a huge horror fan, so any horror film, I'm already there seeing it. I love it. Love it. Going on to the number 7 question. What are some of your passions outside of screenwriting?
This is a great question. Along with music, and what's funny is I cannot sing and I can't play an instrument, but I do make music, and I am the singer on the Lost song. So that's pretty funny. But listening to music is one of my greatest passions, and combined with that is my absolute number 1 passion, that above anything else I do in my life, it's what I always come back to, and that's dancing. More so than even being a screenwriter, dancing is what I love the most. So those 2 things are very important to me. So being able to make music, and that I've actually danced to it, because sometimes I've been in my car or taking my dog out for a walk, and like Amazon Music or iHeartRadio will play my songs to me. And that just really freaks me out. So yeah, I just get really excited about even hearing my own music and dancing to it. I also love to cook. I've been cooking since I was a little kid, just like my screenwriting and dancing. Everything is like self-taught, and I'm just, a mad scientist in the kitchen. And then my other absolute passion are watching sports, and in particular, the Kansas City Chiefs. I am a diehard Kansas City Chiefs fan. I've been a fan since 1993, and I've been to games. I've done a private tour of Arrowhead Stadium, and I'm an absolute lunatic during football season.
Trust me, I know what that's like. My mom is a diehard Steelers fan. I find it funny. She's a Steelers fan in a Seahawks town, because we're here in Seattle. So she stands out because she wears her Steelers shirt everywhere, especially during football season. And she's just as passionate about football as anyone. So I hear you there.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
So going on to the number 8 question, we have mentioned this earlier before during the interview. You are the owner of Cordell Productions. Can you tell the J Lounge audience a little bit about that?
Yes. So Cordell Productions came about through a kind of just a one-off comment from David, my writing partner, and it was based on a character from a script that we did a table read for. And he just said, hey, and one day we can call ourselves Cordell Productions. And I was like, okay. And so a couple months went by and we realized that, we were a really good team and we loved writing scripts together. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to create this business. And so I started gathering up women that I have worked with for, up to a decade that are extremely accomplished businesswomen that I've done amazing things with in the other industries that I've worked in. And I said, hey, remember when I told you if I ever had a chance to do something, I'd bring you along? Well, here it is. Do you want to come? And so I gathered up my CFO, a COO, a communications director, asked David to be a managing partner, asked one of our other acquaintances, Luke, to be our creative director, and he's going to direct our pilot for John Sunshine. And then also my music partner, Richie, is Cordell Productions music director. So it's really just people that, I've worked with successfully that all believe in me and believe in our dream. And now we're a real business. We're LLC'd and, we've got our tax ID. And so it's a real deal. And we have a website, but because we're just starting out, we've been doing all this other stuff. It's not where we want it to be. But in addition to producing our own stuff, we provide a wide range of services because David, in addition to being a screenwriter, is also an award-winning actor. And so we also have a group of actors. So we offer, acting services, both, creative and corporate, voice, voice services, voiceovers, voice acting, video editing, filming, directing, producing, sound editing, branding. We're looking to partner with people, as I mentioned, to, promote their businesses while promoting us. So, we're looking to use social media, to promote people and create branding opportunities for other companies that are, trying to succeed, as well as, like I said, produce our own stuff and invest in other indie films so that other people have an opportunity to make their stuff. And I've done that now, gosh, close to maybe 10 times now, have invested in other people's projects. And that's why I started out being an executive producer and, producer and just getting up at that top level, starting up. So.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So if anybody's out there that's got a creativity, Cordell Productions is looking for you. So that is awesome.
What I'm also really, really proud about is we are very committed to diversity, inclusion, and representation. And we've spoken to a number of actors, male and female actors, when we've presented them with roles. And in particular, one of the female actors that I'm friends with is a Korean actress. And when I spoke to her about her role for the comedy that we wrote, her one comment was, wow, I've never heard anybody do that. And so we're very committed to, breaking down the walls, making sure that, when we write for a character or have an actor, that their life in real life is what is also on screen, should they desire that. We've allowed actors to have input into their character development or even their name to make sure that they're comfortable with their name. And that really starts out up at the top. I'm a Gen X, over 50 Hispanic woman, owner. And then my 3 top directors, my CFO and COO, are also females, and have advanced degrees, and we're all mixed race. And then my communications director is also a female. So it's very important to us that we promote that within, internally and externally, as well as noting that even though we're new to the film industry, between all of us, we have pretty much over 150 years of combined corporate business experience. So we feel very confident that we're going to be able, to succeed with our company.
Oh, absolutely incredible. That is absolutely incredible. I love to hear it. I really do. It is nice to see, I'm gonna say it, women taking charge. I love it. I love to see it.
Yep.
I love to see it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. We just got 2 more questions for you, Miss Alice. Going on to number 9. Are there any goals you'd like to achieve that you haven't yet?
Well, certainly getting our fundraising goal met for our John Sunshine pilot. That's our first goal, and getting that pilot filmed. We have everything in place. All of our actors are ready. All of the travel has been done. Everybody's ready. We're just about to start our fundraising. So, being on this end of fundraising, where I've been on the other end with investing, is really exciting. So this will be our first, real test to see how good we can, pitch ourselves and promote our products and our services and our screenplays. So we're really looking forward to that.
I am rooting for you guys. I have no doubt you guys will reach your funding goals, and your pilot will be up and running, like you said, by January. I have no doubt.
Thank you, dear.
Going on to the last question there for you, Miss Alice. Name 3 people who inspired your career.
I love this question. The first 2 are very, very easy. And that is my friend, John Lear, who is the one that told me to just start writing. He is most well known for being one of the original Geico cavemen.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is cool. Those are my favorite commercials.
Yep. But he's had his own shows on Hulu, his own show on TBS. He is an amazing, amazing, talented, and just incredibly generous man. He even came and hung out with me in 2019, and we went to one of the places where I watch Chiefs games, because he is also a Chiefs fan. And he did his stand-up comedy, and we raised money that we donated to a local children's hospital. And so he is just such an amazing friend, and I, really respect his opinion. So he is number 1, because without him, I would have never started writing.
Right.
So number 2, very, very, very easy. And that is David Keogh, my writing and business partner. Like John, he pretty much just said 2 words to me that made me believe in myself. And now here we are months later, writing together and about to film a pilot, because David is also one of the main actors in the pilot and the series. So having him help me write this, and knowing what he can do when he's on set is just gonna be amazing. And he's just very professional and very generous with his talent and his time, and everybody loves him. Everybody loves David. So very excited to continue working with him. And then the last people I would say is actually a group of people. And I will say a shout out to my friend Ben Rock and Bob DeRosa. They are part of the team that created and put out Blair Witch Project. And the reason that they inspired my career is because at the time, the internet was very new. And I was working in the corporate world, and I loved computers, and I was already actually on the internet 5 years before that movie even came out. And I was in, marketing and advertising and stuff like that. And when they came out with the film, their marketing campaign was so incredible. And back then, if something was on the internet and looked real, it was assumed that it was real.
Right.
And what they did and how they used this brand new platform and service when most people still didn't have the internet. And they developed a story within the story, even on IMDb or wherever they were credited, they had the actors being missing. I mean, they did not miss a detail. And when I started writing John Sunshine this year, in anything I've ever done, I've always been like, how do you just go that one step further? And so to me, those were the guys that have really just inspired me, both personally and professionally every day, to help me get where I am, because I've always kept them, back of mind when I'm doing stuff. So I would say that those are the other guys.
Wow, that is amazing. That is absolutely amazing, Alice. You have had one hell of a career, and again, I'm so excited it's still continuing on for you. Like I said, I have no doubt you're going to reach your fundraising goals for your pilot. I cannot wait to see more about it. I cannot wait to see more what you do, especially hopefully, making your directorial debut, all of that. But I appreciate you being on the show and really opening up to my audience and letting them know who you are and your work. And I have no doubt they're going to embrace you.
Thank you so much. You're so kind to have us on and let me talk about, my team and how proud we are of everybody, because everybody's just working so hard, and they all have full-time jobs, so they're all doing this out of the kindness of their heart and belief in me and belief in David and what we all want to accomplish. So it's just been such a humbling and grateful experience to have all these people just want to be part of my dream, so I can hopefully make other people's dreams come true, because that's really what this is all about.
Absolutely. And I always say teamwork makes the dream work. So,
That's right.
Gotta thank the team, because without it, the dream can't work. So I'm all for, giving shout out, definitely to the team who, especially people who support you and all of that. So that is awesome. That is amazing.
Great. Thank you, dear. Thank you so much.
Of course. You guys know I have been the hostess with the mostest, Miss J, aka Miss Simone Jackson. I will be back with another great episode of the J Lounge. I have so much more for you guys. Till then, I want to thank my amazing guest, Alice, one more time. I want to thank everyone for listening, and I will be back soon. Mwah! Everyone have a good evening. Bye.